Hey guys, it's Ray, and we are streaming blacksmithing. So yeah, today we will be streaming more corkscrews. So we are going to use the stock that we have, which is 1/4-inch square stock. So this is going to take a little bit more effort to draw down. So I've got my 3-pound hammer that we're going to use today. And we are going to try it again, and we'll see if we can make a better looking corkscrew. So we've got a nice warm heat going on there. We are going to crush that down into a nice point by hammering on all 4 sides. Glancing blows at the edge of the anvil, creating a pyramid. My hands are still a little bit cold, so I'm a little bit slower than I want to be. Less dexterous. There we go. Let's get going. We're gonna get warmer and it's gonna all work out. There we go. Much better. I'm gonna give you a wide view this time. So what we're doing is we are glancing blows on the edge of the anvil on all 4 quarters. We want to point out the end of this piece because we need a really nice sharp point to go into the cork for our corkscrew. Hammering all 4 corners to make that even and centralized. So we've got a nice good point going there. I'd like to sharpen it up a little bit, but I think I'm going to do that on the grinder after we're done. But we've got a nice shallow angle on there, and I'm pretty happy with it. So we've got that nice pencil shape on the point. So we hammer on all 4 sides to keep them all nice and even, getting rid of all of the weird divots and keeping everything nice and flat. The hammer will crush the material and create that force that we need to move the metal, and the anvil face flattens it out so that it's nice and pretty. We are continuing to draw down the material for this corkscrew. Yeah, we're getting a lot more movement out of this 2-pound hammer. I'm pretty happy. I think I'll be fine and keep with this one. All 4 sides. We're starting to see a really good amount of movement in the material. But we've got several more heats to go because I'd like to continue about this width right here and bring that all the way back down here. And as we go, we're going to lengthen out that whole piece, and we are going, our corkscrew is going to grow. We're going to lose at least triple the length by scrolling the screw part of the corkscrew. So we're going to keep on keeping on. So we're starting to get a really nice width on that tip, and it's coming back, and I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to keep going and bring that same width all the way back so that we can get a nice even taper. So I'm pretty happy with that. trying to straighten it out just a little bit so it's a little less twisty. And it'll be easier on our next heat. All right. So we're getting to the point now where we're getting a decent amount of taper in there. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of correction. There's a few bumps and lumps in here. We want to make sure that we get everything all nice and flat. All right. As we look down the length of the bar, I can see there's a little bit of a turn in the very tip. We got to take that out for the moment so that we can make sure that we know where all of the lumps and bumps are. And then after that, I think we are about where I'm ready to go for twisting out this corkscrew. So we've got a nice, really thin, really even taper in there. I'm really happy with it. All right, let's turn this square profile into a round profile. So we're doing this by placing the corner of the square onto the top of the anvil, and then we are hammering on the opposite corner. So we are taking the square profile and turning it into an octagon. So from a square to an octagonal profile. And then from the octagon, we can get rid of all of the faces. Instead of having 4 or 8, then we'll have no faces. So what we do is we kind of turn the material as we're hammering. Round that out and get rid of all of the faces. So we're really starting to round that profile out. So we've got that that square profile. We see those quarters that you can see. So we're really starting to get rid of those on our tapered section. And that'll make it a lot easier to slide the rounded area down into the cork as we are twisting our corkscrew. So that is the goal for that one. So, all right, so we are going to start curling this corkscrew. So we're using these glancing blows, and then we've got like a nice curl going there. We got to be really careful because it is so thin that we're actually going to risk cracking our piece. So I'm going to actually put that back in the forge. All right, so we're continuing to curl this with glancing blows from the edge of the anvil, and then we are hammering a little bit towards ourselves to kind of curl that into a round form. And we can use every edge of the anvil, and we'll pull that out a little bit. Looks like we're going to pull it out a little bit further on the next heat. I'm a little bit afraid that I'm going to actually end up accidentally breaking it. We've got a little bit of scale forming in there, but if we worked it a little bit further than that, what we'd end up getting are cracks in it. We get some cold shunts. So right now we're still good. but if we work it much further, we're going to end up cracking it and breaking pieces off. So we're going to try not to do that. All right, so we've got a relatively even depth there on that that spiral. Like I said, we are still gonna work on this tip. It's still not quite the way I want it to, but the rest of it is pretty even. I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, we're gonna fix up the this end curl. So we'll turn that to 90 degrees, so it's kind of pointy. All right. All right. Pretty happy with that. That's looking pretty nice. All right, so here we go. We've got a nice point where we can stab into our cork, and then on Friday we will work on a handle so that we can use the handle to twist the whole thing in our cork for opening our wine bottle.